But hold on. Your miracle is coming. I wish somebody would get excited about that. The season that healed me broke me. But hold on. Your miracle is coming. On last week, we left off where the Shunammite woman had been blessed with her child. The seed child. She was blessed with her son. As the prophet had spoken, that thing came to pass. And at that same time of the year, she embraced her son. Not only did she embrace her son, but she carried that child in her arms. And the Bible says that when he got up to age where he was able to go out and work in the field, he got out there with his father and began to work. Whatever he found to put his hands to, he put his hands to it and began to work. And out of a sudden, the young lad began to cry out, "Father, Father, my head, my head." And the father instructed another lad to pick up his son and carry him back to his mother. The other lad picked up his son and took him back to his mother. She had received a word. She had received a blessing. She had been waiting for so long. Years had gone by. Seasons had gone by. And she finally received the thing that she's been wanting, the gift that she had been waiting on. And now she finds herself in a place and a position and a season in life where things went left. The young man comes in and he brings her son in, and the Bible says that she sits there with him on her lap, holding him and rocking him, praying for him, trying to make things better for him. She gave him the medicine. She gave him the thing that she thought was going to make him better. But come to find out, it did not. She had been waiting so long, and now that she's got it and she's holding and rocking him, trying to understand what the situation is and what is going on. And she held him and rocked him and loved on him until noonday. And the Bible says when noon came, her son died. The season that healed me broke me. But hold on. God sent me to tell you that your miracle is coming. Yes, you've been blessed, and an incident happened, an unfortunate incident happens, and he dies. But he says, hold on, because your miracle is coming. He was out there in the fields with the Father. And the only thing that I could imagine that happened is that they were working out there in the sun and in the heat, and the sun was beaming down on him. I can only imagine that he had started becoming dehydrated. I can only imagine that he became dehydrated and began to become weak. And I can only imagine that. The only thing that makes sense is that he had had a heat stroke and died. The woman sat there with her deceased son in her arms, holding him and rocking him. And she gets up and she does something radical. She does something that was unexpected. she does something that seems totally out of character. She does something that was strange and unusual to some of us as readers. But she understood that the man of God had prophesied to her that this child was coming. So the only way to get results was to take the child and lay him upon the man of God's bed. She gets up out of her chair, probably with tears streaming down her face, thoughts running through her head that I did not ask for this. And yet you said that I was going to get it, and now it's died. So she's taken her son, her young deceased son, and she takes him and she goes and opens the prophet's room door and goes in and lays him upon the prophet's bed. Now, I shared with you at the end of last week's video that when she laid the young man upon the man of God's bed, the bed turned from a bed to an altar. Whenever we have situations that we don't understand, anytime we have circumstances that comes and they have broke us and have hurt us, the first thing that we need to do is take it to the altar. The prophet's bed went from a bed to an altar. Take your problems, take your troubles, take your circumstance, take your storms, take your issues, take everything to the altar. Take it all to God in prayer. And by taking it to God in prayer, you've taken it, you stepped out on faith, and you moved to take it to the altar. It's been placed at the master's feet. It's been placed in the master's hand. And though this was so unexpected, your miracle is right around the corner. The Bible says that she takes the child and put him on the prophet's bed, and she comes out, shuts the door, and she sends word to her husband to send a lad. And not only send a lad, but to send an ass with her, a donkey with him, because she's on her way to go and see the prophet. Her husband says that it's not a new moon. It's not the Sabbath. Why must you go see? Why are you going to see the prophet? He sends the lad and he sends the donkey, and they come to the house, and she saddles up the donkey and she gets on. And the young man that's with her, she tells him to go forward, drive and go forward, and don't slow down, lest I tell you to. This woman had a desperate cry. She had confusion locked up inside of her. She had chaos going on the inside of her. She's fighting with her thoughts. She's fighting with the thought that her child has died and there is nothing that she could do except go see the prophet. Get on, and the journey starts. He begins to move towards the prophet's house. And they're going, and they're going, and they're going. I can only imagine that this woman is sitting there going through her head saying, I didn't ask for this. Why did God give him to me? and then take him back. Why? Why? I don't understand this. Confused. Confused. Got some hurt going on. Got some brokenness going on now, but yet still have enough room inside her heart and her spirit and her soul to have some faith. The Bible says faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence